Hello and welcome to a very special Call of Cthulhu game. Today I am joined by these wonderful personalities, which I will introduce in just a minute here. But first, I have a couple of very important things to announce. I'm so smooth. First of all, welcome to Roll20Con. Today we're raising money for Code 2040, an organization dedicated to ending racial disparity in the tech industry. So feel free to donate to the cause. It's a really great one. And of course, we'll be sure to remind you throughout the show. And also welcome to Roll20Con. This is Roll20's annual online gaming convention. We celebrate community gaming and charity. We're going to be previewing some new releases, organizing some demos, and having giveaways. I'm sure you've already seen or are about to see some wonderful things from my very good friend Gabe James Games, either today or tomorrow, soon. I like how I don't know when his stuff is happening. I just know that I talked to him about it on Monday. So that's a whole thing. The VOD for this game, if you can't catch it in its entirety, will be available on YouTube. And make sure you come back tomorrow for a first look at the Power Rangers RPG with Dustin Fletcher and Carlos Luna at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Nailed it. And now we can get to the fun stuff, which all of that was fun too. But now we can get into playing the game. Let me go around and introduce our wonderful cast of players today. This is my first time playing with all of them, but I'm so excited to meet them and get to know them better. And I'm sure you are too. Take it away, Michelle.
Oh, hello. I get to go first. This is Michelle. Hi. Sorry, I'm Michelle Nguyen Bradley. This is my normal speaking voice, and I don't know how to not talk in the third person. This is going great. What am I saying? You can find me on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny. That's my Twitter handle and Instagram handle. You can find me on shows over at Good Time Society, the Dragons and Things Network. I was recently on Critical Role for a 3-part miniseries for Elder Scrolls Online. And yeah, today I'm playing Wentworth Avaberry. That's how you say my name. And I'm a languages professor. I am probably old. I cannot find my age. I'm 58. That's like a normal. I'm a normal human age. Yeah.
A normal human age.
I have a normal human age, and a lot of my backstory is centered around my dead wife, and that's pretty upsetting. That's it. That's me. Next.
I love it. Banana Chan?
Hi, I'm Banana Chan. My Twitter handle is Banana Chan Games. You can also find me on TikTok at banana.chan.games. I write and design games. My latest work has been on Junction Blend Banquet Hall, which I co-designed with Sam Lim. I also have 2 Kickstarters up right now, so please check those out. One of them is called An Exquisite Crime with Sam Lim again. That's being published by Hunters Entertainment. And the second one is Suburban Consumption of the Monstrous, which is an anthology of horror, spooky LARPs for adults. So that is also up with Sadia Bees, and that's also being published by Pelgrane Press. Today I am playing Dr. Nevada Jones, not a play on any other IP that is very popular that everyone knows about. He is 35 and he is from Canada, and he's very grizzled, and he's an archaeology professor.
Sounds like my type. Speaking of LARP, Cynthia.
Hey, I'm Cynthia Marie. You guys can find me on Twitter at CynDancer or Instagram Cynthia__Marie. As mentioned, I am a LARPer. I help run LARPs, actually a local one called Twin Mask in Southern California. So if you're out here, come check it out. It's really amazing. Also do a whole bunch of one-shot streams. But my home game, actually, we just wrapped up season 5 final. You guys may know me as Nellie G from LA by Night on Vampire the Masquerade World of Darkness. Outside of that, I play a whole bunch of other games when I'm not being a systems engineer during the day. So yeah, I'm actually really excited about the charity that's going on because tech lady here. Woo! But tonight I'm going to play, oh God, I'm going to mess this up. Keiko. Did I say it right? Keiko. Yes! Keiko Kane. She is someone who explains everything with science, doesn't believe in ghosts. Yeah, I'll leave it to that.
So we have to ask, Persephiroth, do you believe in ghosts?
Of course I believe in ghosts. Every one of my exes is one.
I felt like something was coming.
Oh, it's that kind of game. Is that where we're going now?
Yeah. Okay, that was definitely a Persephiroth answer. Hi, I'm Persephiroth, aka Persephone. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I do a lot of TTRPG content too, and I also weirdly enough, I'm also a LARPer. I haven't done it since the pandemic though. So, and I was most recently on the 7 Dimension 20s until last week, most recent season. So yeah. And I am playing Jessie Williams, who is a very young, very religious girl from Boston.
I love it. I love it. I'm very excited to corrupt Jessie today, as well as all of our other investigators. I guess I should introduce myself. Hi, hello. I'm Jasmine, that bronze girl Bhullar. I am the keeper for this game. You might recognize me from I stream on Twitch. I'm a full-time Twitch streamer. And Battle for Beyond just dropped, so you might know me from that as well. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. This is my first time running this game. I have played it before, so the type of energy I'm gonna need you to bring to the chat and to our wonderful production is that of charity for Code 2040 and not for rules lawyering. I myself am typically a rules lawyer, but in this case, friends, we must put our gavels away and instead reach for our wallets and find it in ourselves to have a giving spirit and be kind to myself and the players in our lack of knowledge regarding the rules. But that being said, we're still going to have a blast. Okay, so let's get into the game. We start our story in the old-timey days.
What year is that, Jasmine?
I don't know why I started with that.
The dinosaurs were around, or which
Back
one?
in the oldie day. When fedora hats abounded. I'm talking about real fedoras, not the trilbies that pass as fedora hats these days that are not at all as attractive as an actual fedora is.
So we're not in the 2000s, right?
No, we're
Check.
definitely not in the 2000s.
Check it.
Yeah, and we're definitely not in the 1800s, but someplace in between is where we find our investigators, not adventurers, in the city of Arkham. Now, you all have recently received correspondence from a friend or acquaintance of yours, a decrepit, old, grumpy man named Rupert Merriweather. I believe I actually have, here we go. So you receive, let's start with Keiko. Keiko, you receive the letter first. You're actually still clutching it in your hand when you step onto the busy platform of the Arkham railway station. A letter summoning you to his bedside. Sir Rupert Merriweather has fallen under the weather and has called for you to come to his side. He has a strange condition that he is suffering under and wished to see you once more. What is your relationship with Rupert?
Oh, I mean, Rupert was very much a good ally in terms of being a wonderful professor, and I was very much able to learn quite a bit from him, although I don't believe that he had some of his facts right. He was very much into ghosts and weird things, and I often find that that is easily to discern here. So I am very sad to hear that he has fallen ill and want to find out more.
Yes, his letter described him as not only being failing health, but in failing spirits as well. And he has a job for you. It merely stated in the note that you were to come to St. Mary's Teaching Hospital at a certain time at 3:00 in the afternoon. And you've arrived at the station to begin your journey there. Also, across from you on a different platform, we see Jessie. What does Jessie look like and what is she wearing?
Jessie is wearing a black overcoat over a white dress. She has wavy hair that's cropped, relaxed hair that's cropped to her chin, very about medium tan skin. She has a leather satchel to one side, and she's clutching the strap pretty tightly. She looks very young. She's about 20, but she looks a lot younger. Big wide eyes. Fashionable though, but looks a little timid in some ways.
And what is your relationship to Professor Rupert Merriweather?
Professor Merriweather, please tell me this wasn't actually a backstory and we're just making this over now.
You can make up anything you
Thank
want.
you, God. Okay. Professor Merriweather was someone that was a friend of my mother. My mother is someone that I'm very close to, someone that still lives back in Boston, even though I moved here. And she asked me to come in her place to see to him.
So it was actually your mother who got the letter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, the two of you notice that there is a carriage kind of waiting with a gentleman standing outside with a placard kind of holding up both of your names. Yours, Jesse, would actually have your mother's name on it, but you recognize the last name of Williams.
Oh, hello. Are you Gloria Williams? I'm sorry.
No, I am merely your driver, here to fetch you from the station and take you to St. Mary's Hospital.
I'm here in place of my mother. I'm Jessie Williams.
I see.
She couldn't come.
Oh, that is rather unfortunate, but it will have to do for the time being.
I'm sorry. She's not doing so well herself these days.
Oh, none of us are, Jessie. To be young and supple again would be a treat. But
Jessie takes
hopefully
a
I
step
live-
backwards. Just a slight step backwards.
I just hope that life remains in me long enough to get you to St. Mary's Teaching Hospital.
What is it that ails you?
Age.
What is just a
It's
number?
on my back,
I see.
like a monkey that has me in a chokehold.
Should you be driving?
Probably not, ma'am, but unfortunately, you're stuck with me, as are you. And he motions inside the carriage, where we see another wizened old man, Wentworth Avebury. Wentworth, how are you adorned?
Now look here, kiddo. I may be old, but I still have a lot of energy and pep left in my step, if you know what I'm saying. I've got a real classy, young, you might call it young people clothes. I do that thing where old people wear young people clothes and hope no one notices I'm super old. I've got big ass glasses. That's what you call them. And I'm impatiently awaiting the other two passengers to hurry up and get inside. I've got graying hair. I'm incredibly tall, a very tall, pale man. I hail from New York City. You might have heard of it. But I now live in Arkham, so I'm from around this town, and I just walked over to this meeting place, and I'm ready to go and get some clues and see what's going on with my old colleague, Professor Rupert Merriweather, that old bugger. There's no way he's dying. He's definitely just faking it. He does this every year.
You hear this, Dr. Nevada Jones, as you're placing your luggage on top of the carriage.
Not this again. I've been through so many of these fake deaths before. This is probably the third fake death I've had to go through, so hopefully this is quick and I'll be there for the bar.
Dr. Jones, the old bean, welcome back.
Wentworth, not this again.
So I mean, we had a great time last. Remember, we stole half his bar, and then we said "fuck you," and we went home, and it was great. There was no adventure to be had, but we sure got a lot of free booze that day, didn't we?
Yes, that is correct. I am here for the free booze, so yes, that was very enjoyable.
Excuse me, you said there's free booze here?
Oh, yes, there will be libations on location. I have already partaken in some.
Are we sure we should be drinking on the job? I'm not quite certain that is the right thing to do here.
What are you
to drink on a man's deathbed?
Well, listen, if he's really dying, he'd want us all to party, wouldn't he? I mean, who wants people around him to start crying because they're dying on their account?
But from your words, you said that it was a fake death. Therefore, we shouldn't be drinking quite yet to celebrate.
It's a fake death?
Well, we don't know that. Either way, I mean, drink if he's dying, drink if he's not dying.
Happens every
Let's
year.
just have a good time. Happens every year. It's like a reunion at this point.
This is the first time this has happened.
Nope, that can't be right.
Right? Oh, maybe it's my memory that's going.
It's true. You're the old man here, not me.
Sir, why don't you get in the passenger seat? I'm going to drive.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm positive. How much have you had to drink?
Oh, only a thimble.
Of what?
Engine oil?
Please move.
He moves aside to like the co-pilot seat and lets you take the reins.
So, you
Just out
just
of
want to
curiosity-
go down this street for about a
Mhm.
mile, and you're gonna see a gas lamp and a pub, and the pub with the 2 broken windows. So you're gonna want to go left there, and then you're gonna see a very scary-looking hag woman selling flowers. When you see her, turn right.
There's
And-
like 8 different pubs and they're all boarded up.
Well, yes, but it's the one with 3 windows.
And the hag lady?
And the hag lady selling flowers. And when you see that, you're going to want to turn left.
Okay, I'll turn left here. Think.
Give me a drive check.
God.
Oh, this is incredible.
I did not realize this was an actual check.
I was gonna ask. Can you
I
drive?
don't know if I can actually drive. Wait, would this be ride?
Yes. I mean, we have drive auto, but we'll say this is a ride.
Maybe
check.
that would be
Horses.
better.
Mhm.
Okay,
I can
can't-
assist you in some driving skills if you need it.
okay, please do.
I'm gonna sit next to Jesse and it's great.
How bad is it? God, I haven't checked yet.
Well, it's a
It's like a
fail.
normal failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. 2 of us together will be fine.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you attempt to turn the carriage rather rapidly as he points out the old hag, like hurriedly, like that hag, the toothless one, not the one with the full head of golden hair. And as you suddenly turn, you do find, or you hear like this very loud crack as one of your wagon wheels slips into like almost the sewer channel running along the side of the footpath. The tire slips in, or the wheel, I should say, slips in, and then like you hear a snap as one of the spokes falls off.
So everything's fine?
Young lady, and I'm beating my cane, my old person cane on the roof of the carriage. Young lady, are you
yep.
okay up there? We're just kind of letting you young people have a fun time up there, but it'd be great if we get to our destination without falling in a ditch. How's it going?
Well, we have a slight bit of a problem. We hit a little bit of a crack and inadvertently may have pulled apart our wheel.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely busted.
And you see the old man kind of poking it with a stick.
I think Dr. Jones, seeing this as an opportunity to show off his muscles, just like pulls up his sleeves and steps out and tries to do something about the situation.
Yeah, give me a, let's see, a mechanical repair roll.
Where is that?
It's gonna be like
electrical
in the
repair?
middle. I think there's mechanical repair too.
Oh,
It's
found
under
it.
law.
Yep.
There we go.
Found it, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of under languages.
Yeah,
We're all so very good at this.
Oh,
you're so
oh.
busy like flexing to show off that you lift the front end of the carriage in beautiful form, arms rippling, posterior tight. And as you lift up, you're kind of like sitting there with the wheel up, and you hear the old man say, "Well, that's all well and good, Nevada, but the spoke is still broken."
Like tears his shirt off a little bit. He's just like, "Yeah, everything's fine. This is normal, I think." And he like puts on his cowboy hat and starts doing some more stuff to it.
Keiko definitely like leans over, like,
This is a very interesting specimen here. Oh,
Jessie will get up and try looking for wherever the wheel went off towards the sewer. See if she can catch it before it goes.
Wentworth has been like, go ahead.
You do find that it has like come to a rest in the sort of like channel that the raw sewage is flowing through. But it's like one of the spokes is cracked off and jutting out at like sort of towards you at an angle.
Okay, I definitely broke this.
Well, we could just walk.
Well, that sounds incredible. Let's let's all get a little exercise. That sounds great. Is everyone feeling okay to take a walk down the block?
Are you going to be okay? You are rather frail.
Oh no, I'm still in the. I'm doing great. Maybe Dr. Jones can carry this old man. I'm pointing to the driver whose name I've completely forgotten.
Yeah, just hop on my back.
Incredible.
Oh, I won't play coy. That might be the best course for me. I don't.
It's so depressing. Why did I make him like this?
Because it's hilarious.
I don't think I'm long for this world.
And he sort of wraps his arms around your neck and climbs onto your back.
I start like walking around and looking back to see if like anyone else notices my brave acts of kindness.
Begrudgingly.
I'm gonna struggle to get all of the luggage off, and so you see Keiko with like a bunch of luggages trying to like walk.
Yeah, you're able. There's only like 3 or 4 trunks up there. You're able to get them down with some difficulty, but it's not impossible. And you start making your way towards St. Mary's Teaching Hospital. The cobblestone path is slick and wet, is gently misting in Arkham. There's a fog kind of settling in as the evening settles in, and it kind of covers you all in a kind of peaceful blanket. The gas lights come on one by one, and with their light amplified and kind of diffused by the fog, the city of Arkham looks beautiful at this time of evening. Sure enough, you find yourself sort of looking down the street at St. Mary's, that's only a couple of blocks away. A beautiful old brick hospital with people in uniforms going in and out from the main thoroughway. Some people leaving work for the day, others coming back from lunch and getting ready for the night shift. And as you approach, you see someone kind of shuffling towards you, jerking a bit uncontrollably as he does so, kind of swaying from side to side rhythmically in a way, and kind of like making a beeline straight for you, actually, as he cuts across the street.
Sir, are you okay?
As you say this, he looks up at you, and his eyes kind of like pierce into yours a bit. Give me a sanity check.
Oh boy. First one. Why isn't it letting me roll this?
I'll make sure you're not in edit mode.
Yeah, this is a Persephone problem, not a Roll20 problem, by the way. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, I think if we turn that off, you should be able to.
Oh, cool. That works.
Yep. There we go. Ooh, yeah. You as you kind of like look into his eyes, you notice like a strange coloration coming off them, almost scintillating, a color that you couldn't even describe. It's almost like a fuchsia or a lime green or something in between. And his eyes look into yours, and he just says, and you notice now his face is very gaunt. his skin is caramel colored, but seems to be pulled back taut over his cheekbones, almost as though he hasn't eaten in a while or he's strained in some way. His long ebony hair is pulled back into a bun, and you see he's wearing a trench coat that is like pulled kind of haphazardly over what looks to be a hospital gown. And he says, "The color. It's the color. Do you see it? Do you see the color?"
I see some color. Have you been drinking? Your eyes are kind of bloodshot.
You can't drink the color. It's inside you.
Sir, do you need help to get back to the hospital?
No, I can't go back there. I have to follow the color. I have to follow it and see it bloom
Follow it where?
before it goes back. I have to follow it back. I can't miss my ticket to leave the color.
I kind of step in. Now, Miss Williams, didn't your parents raise you not to talk to random drunk people on the street? Mr. Shoo, get out of here.
My
we're on our
parents
way
taught me to care about people that seem to be in trouble, sir.
All right. Well, if you want to continue this conversation, that is completely up to you. But I'm on my way to the hospital, and I think we should skedaddle.
Roll a quick intimidate for me, Wentworth.
Okay.
As you kind of gesture at him to leave. Yeah.
Boop. Oh, it's not very good though. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a regular failure.
When you say this, he like touches you with both of his hands. They feel warm to the touch. Not so warm that they burn you, but warm enough to make you feel uncomfortable. And you feel his fingerprints kind of like, or you feel his handprints kind of almost like sink into your skin a little bit. And he says, "The color," and walks away. And when you look down on your arm, you notice the handprints are still there, almost like welts on your arm.
Ooh, gross. And I'm just gonna get my little handkerchief out and be doing that for a while.
Yeah, as you rub away at it, you see that the marks kind of slowly fade over time, but there is still like the faintest impression of them there, almost like a bruise, even though he did not grip you hard enough to bruise your skin.
Oh, must be strong stuff he was drinking. All right, shall we continue over to the hospital, the teaching hospital?
Nevada looks over to you and he's just like, are you okay over there? Do you need some assistance?
No, we're doing fine. Just having a walk, meeting the people, seeing the places, things every normal people do all the time.
What did that person do to your arm?
I think they just got some schmutz on it, and it's fine. It's great. It's going away. It's probably I don't know, plum, wine, or something like that.
Maybe we should inform one of the nurses that one of their patients has clearly escaped.
Oh, was
good
that
idea.
a patient?
Must have
thought
been.
maybe that was Rupert. My eyesight isn't what it used to be.
Definitely not Rupert, but a different old man. Almost got it.
I don't know if he was old or if he was just skeletal. It's like his skin had all the life sucked out of it.
Well, either way, things will reveal themselves. We should probably get inside the hospital and go see our friend.
Yeah.
When you come into the hospital, you see in the lobby someone that some of you may recognize, Rupert's 62-year-old wife, Agnes, and his son, the 33-year-old Bertrand, who are whispering to each other. They see you, and Agnes says, "He's upstairs. Room 207." Almost as though she's been expecting you. As you make,
I was just going to inquire to her. Are you all right, Miss? I was just checking to see if there's any information that you might have in terms of Rupert's ailment.
He hasn't been the same since, well, for about a month now. We thought his condition might improve if we brought him here, since this hospital is known to employ some non-traditional means and do some more experimental treatments, but unfortunately his health has taken a turn for the worse, and for this reason he's wanted to see some of his friends.
I see. Is there anything that we should be aware of when walking into this room?
Oh, well, no, he's not violent at all. He's just been weakened as of late and seems to go into almost dreamlike states where he can't tell what's reality and what isn't.
Interesting. And I look over at Jessie at like when she says the whole reality situation of like, and I just kind of like looks back to Agnes.
My mother couldn't make it. I'm here in place of Gloria. I'm her daughter, Jessie.
Oh, Jessie, it's so wonderful to meet you. She takes out like a well-manicured hand and kind of reaches for yours and says, your mother was a dear friend of mine in our school days.
She's sorry she couldn't make it. She's come down with some sort of illness herself. So she sent me instead.
Oh, Jessie, I don't know what's happening. It seems like all of us merry old lot have fallen ill all at once. I try to talk to Rupert and convince him that we're just reaching that age, but he seems to think it's some kind of karma, as he says it was.
For what?
I don't know, Jessie. He just seems to talk about some reason that they've incurred some type of wrath or that they all had this coming, but I don't know if he's maybe just, and at this she kind of like starts to tear up and cry, and she says, you know, when confronted with the idea of passing away or dying in death, I think the brain just starts to conjure all types of nonsense, you know.
Jessie pulls her into a hug, even though she knows of this woman and she's seen her before, but they've never really had much of a conversation. She's just been around her mother's house periodically throughout her life. But she pulls her into a hug.
She hugs you back, and as soon as you pull her into the hug, she just starts to cry. Like it's almost like a dam has been broken, and she allows herself to be vulnerable with you for a moment.
I kind of, I was gonna say, I just kind of nudge Dr. Jones. Hey, I know I said a bunch of stuff earlier, but this seems like it's the real deal, huh?
So Nevada's still like holding on to the driver earlier, and he finally drops him, and he's just like, "Yeah, I think this is for real this time."
All right, we'll keep the jokes to a minimum, and we're gonna be strong for our friend, compatriot, rival, academic, colleague,
mentor, rival. Yeah,
right. You're so much younger than us. Keep bringing it up. Okay, all right.
I mean, I'm just a few decades actually, but yeah.
Can we stop arguing about our age and focus on the prime person here, our friend?
Yep, doing that. Yes, of course. Let us continue up. Agnes, good to see you.
Oh, I'm sure it's just a bit of fever. And this, you hear the voice come from Bertrand, who's been standing kind of lurking at the edge of your clique while the three of you were conversing. He has a widow's peak and cold gray eyes and is wearing an immaculately cut suit. I don't think the old man's going anywhere. If he were, I mean, I feel like I would be the first to know it. It's one of those things, you know, the way animals know right before an earthquake strikes, you know?
Very much so. I'm sorry, who are you again?
Bertrand. I'm the old man's son. I remember you coming around once in a while. Weren't you one of his students?
I was, yes, very much so, yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember him mentioning you. Oh, he always did love his students, probably more than his own goddamn kids. Anyways, he wanted to see you lot more than he wanted to see me today, so you might as well go on up before the old man croaks, although, knowing him, he's probably going to stick around for another 10 years, so don't you worry, Avebury. And Wentworth, you know for a fact, you know of Bertrand, and you know that he is kind of a piece of shit. This is his attitude towards his father for most of his life.
Well, don't pay him no heed, Keiko. Bertrand's, I mean, I remember when Bertrand was still in his diapers, pooping all over the living room. Look at him now, big, strong man. You're doing great, Bertrand. You sure you eat your vegetables. Used to hate those too. We'll do our own
Notice him get
assessment.
kind of embarrassed and angry.
We'll do our own assessment of our old friend Rupert. Come on, gang, let's go upstairs and see what's what.
I tap Bertram on the shoulder just as I'm walking away and go, "There's no shame in having a healthy stool. It's okay." And I keep walking.
Why, that old man, I'm really gonna get him one of these days. I really oughta. And you just hear him grumbling as you go up the stairs. As you go upstairs, you notice that the beautiful pattern tile has been scrubbed clean, and the smell of antiseptic it kind of comes wafting to your nostrils. And as your feet clack on the immaculate sort of floor of St. Mary's Teaching Hospital, you find yourselves in front of room 207, the room that Dr. Rupert Merriweather is staying in. You feel like this part of the hallway is all of a sudden a bit more humid or warm than it was before, or where the rest of the hospital was. It almost feels, you feel like your hands almost get a little clammy. And if you were to touch the doorknob, it feels warm to the touch.
I guess I'll go in first. Why is this doorknob warm? Is there a can I do like a smell check? Is this a thing?
Yeah.
Can I tell if it's fire or if it's just warm?
Yeah, of course. Give me a
Smell.
what smell? I think maybe spot hidden or
Okay.
I think that would be
Yeah. A smell spot.
Ooh.
I'm so good at smelling.
Ooh, yes.
All I'm good at.
Yeah, as you're kind of like standing there like trying to see if there's fire on the other side of the door, you do notice something. The smell here is almost sweet, like that of orchids or lilies, in stark contrast to the antiseptic kind of chemically smell you were smelling earlier throughout the hospital.
Well, maybe it's just a really warm room, but I don't know if I remember Rupert loving flowers so much. It smells kind of sweet around here, wouldn't you say? You three?
All I can smell is antiseptic.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you're smelling here.
Huh. All right. Well, I'll just make a note. Let's go on in. And I open the door.
As you open the door, the man before you, although he is your former colleague, almost looks younger than he did before. The wrinkles in his face have kind of disappeared, but he also looks more thinner, more wiry. The room itself almost reminds you of a tropical forest. It's humid. It smells kind of fruity, even though the window is actually propped open and the man himself is like sweating. There's even a fan running to try to keep him cool, and he almost seems to be in a bit of delirium when you come in. His skin almost looks vaguely like not sunburned, but rosy, if that makes sense. Uncomfortably rosy. His eyes are wild, his pupils pinpoints. And although he seems to be in kind of a waking dream, sweat kind of dripping down his brow, he seems to be talking like almost calmly to like no one that is there in particular.
Hotter than the devil's furnace in here.
I take my notebook and start fanning myself.
Hey Rupert, how's it going? We're all here to visit you as you requested.
You see him kind of like mark your presence slowly as his eyes kind of shift away from who he's talking to and towards you. Aveberry, is that you?
Yep, it's me in the flesh, not dead yet. Looks like I'm gonna win this game. But you're not looking too great. Well, actually good, but weird, if I'm being honest.
You look so young.
You're the one who looks young.
So full of life.
Sure. Could have been those 2 gin and tonics I had earlier, but how are you feeling? You're still in this hospital, but you look you look like you lost some weight, but kind of okay other than that.
Well, you see what the problem is? They won't let me leave. I need to leave, and then I'll get better.
Why won't they let you leave?
Well, because they say I'm dying, but the reason I'm dying is because they've got me trapped here. And you do notice that he has been strapped to the bed.
Well, Rupert, I don't know. I mean, I'm not that kind of the sciences are not really my profession, so I couldn't say, but they seem to know what they're doing here, and if they want you to stay, maybe you should stay a little while. If not for yourself, then for old Agnes's sake.
But it's burning me up inside.
Why are they keeping the room so hot?
Well, it's probably just a matter of trying to kill out whatever virus is attacking him. They probably want to use heat to exasperate the skin so that it sweats out, perhaps.
That's a
And
good
why
point.
have the window open?
Maybe for the fresh air.
Is it cold outside? What was it cold when we were outside?
Yeah, it was a lot chillier. It was raining even.
I mean, it is possible that Agnes was sitting in here and she may have been overwhelmed by the heat, and that's why she was perhaps sitting by the window with some air.
Shouldn't we ask instead of making assumptions?
Jesse, give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Ooh.
Meh.
Yeah, you are distracted. It's less that you're not intelligent enough to piece some of this together, but more so that you are distracted by the squeaking of a wheel right outside your door. It is so annoying. It almost gets under your fingernails a little bit. Like it's just this slow, rusty squeak that has been going on for the last 30 seconds, slowly making you more and more irritable and making you unable to concentrate on this sort of like mystery you're trying to piece together.
Can you excuse me a moment? And I go outside. Where is that wheel? What's going on?
A janitor kind of pushing along a janitorial cart with one very rusty wheel. Every once in a while, it even kind of sticks, and he gives a little push to get it going again.
Jessie takes a deep breath and shakes her head. Maybe the heat's getting to me, and goes back into the room.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna check on Jesse and be like, "Hey, is everything okay?"
Yeah. I'm sorry. Just the sound and the heat. I'm just feeling a little lightheaded is all. I don't know. I don't know.
Would you like to stand by the window for a second for the breeze, maybe?
I don't really know how much of it's getting into the room. Yeah, I'll do that.
I was also wondering, maybe we should ask someone about the escaped patient.
Right. Yes, the man, the gaunt man. Quick question, Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
So, St. Mary's, is this like one of those old school religious hospitals?
Yes.
So like they have nurses as well as nuns and or both at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you would also know, and this was touched on briefly by Agnes, Rupert's wife, that this hospital boasts like the latest in modern equipment and techniques and the best medical practitioners on the Eastern Seaboard. So although it's church funded and run, it is a state-of-the-art hospital, probably one of the best in the region.
Mm-hmm. So I go to the nurse's desk and and I try to get the attention of one of the sisters there with Nevada.
Mm-hmm. The woman who greets you has red hair pulled back into like this very like ornate kind of bun, and she's wearing like the nurse's hat above her on her head, but it's like it's very medical in nature, kind of intended to keep her hair back, and she is wearing like a nurse's a nun's habit. Is that what it's called? The high collar sort of dress that they wear. She looks at you eagerly with like bright twinkling blue eyes and says, "Hi, how can I help you?"
Hi, my name's Jessie Williams' sister. I just wanted to inform you there was a man outside who I think may have escaped the hospital. An
Oh
escaped patient.
no, that would be horrible. Are you sure they weren't discharged through the proper channels?
I would imagine that anyone that looked like him would not be discharged. He looked very unwell.
He
Well,
was also
that's
still
not
wearing his
good.
gown, so I'm assuming you don't just let patients out with their gowns.
Oh, we definitely do not. Here at St. Mary's Teaching Hospital, we pride ourselves on ensuring the best of care for everyone underneath our roof. To hear that someone got away is just, well, it's just downright horrible. My heart quivers even at the thought of it. But I'm sure we can figure out who it was. Do you have a description or a name for the man?
I can describe him. He had long black hair, medium brown skin, and his eyes were they green? There was something off about them. Tall, skeletally thin, coat over the gown.
You see her kind of like rifle through some of her records. Well, let's see. Well, I don't think we have anyone like that underneath our care right now.
Are you certain?
I'm quite positive. There was a gentleman matching that description who visited Mr. Rupert earlier.
He was talking
they
about
weren't a patient.
colors. He visited Rupert.
Yes. Apparently it was an old student of his.
Do you have a registry or a ledger or anything that, like a sign out sheet that states his name or?
Well, now that I think about it, I didn't sign you guys in either. I should probably stop letting people into Rupert's room all willy-nilly. He's just had so many visitors this week.
May I ask, I don't know if I can ask, but why is his room so hot?
Oh, well, we've been trying to cool it down in there. We've even had people out to inspect the room to see if there's some type of ventilation leak somewhere. It's really a rather strange phenomenon. It's just very hot.
Can
We've
you
tried to
move his
cool it
room?
down. Well, that's the weird thing. It seems like that entire section of the hall or something is overheating. We think there might be some issue with the furnace or something because there just seems to be a heating issue over there.
Can he be moved to another wing?
I suppose we could try, but the thing is that Mr. Merriweather gets very violent when moved.
Violent?
Yes, he's tried to escape 2 or 3 times now.
That
He's
doesn't sound
become
like
a
him.
bit of a liability.
My mother never mentioned that he had any violent tendencies.
Oh, it was quite a surprise the first time it happened. He's been trying to escape,
Is
But
he
he
not
really
allowed to
shouldn't.
leave? Is he so unwell that he can't leave?
Oh, no, Jesse, he definitely can't. Sorry, Miss Williams. Yeah, he hasn't been eating. He's very weak. I mean, we have to keep him on an IV just to keep him hydrated. He won't even drink water anymore.
And Jessie is fine, sister. I respect you and your position.
Oh, thank you.
Um, if you'll excuse us for a moment. Dr. Jones, was it?
Yes.
Does something
You can call me
seem
Nevada.
Nevada, then Jesse. Something seems odd. Not that I disbelieve the sister, but I don't. If he's becoming irritable, why keep the man in that room?
I agree. There's something not quite right here. Maybe we should go check the furnace.
Do you think we could get down there?
We could also check the room, see if there's anything strange about it.
You know what? Yeah, let's check the furnace. I don't. He's been around my life since I was little with my mother. I don't think this is right. Let's at least. Not that I want to say that the sister is not telling the truth, but let's just confirm for ourselves.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say this whole time that Jesse and Dr. Jones have been outside. Keiko, I'm not sure where you are, but I was still in the room. I stayed in the room.
I'm still in the room too.
Okay. So listen, Rupert, you're acting real funny, and everyone says so basically, and this is funnier than usual. I need you to tell me why is it that you think you need to leave?
Well, if I don't, it'll burn me up from the inside.
What'll burn you up from the inside?
Just the energy. It'll burn me to a crisp. You know, like Marion. It already got Marion, Avebury. I'm next.
Marion, is that another patient here, a friend of yours?
And you see him kind of like reach into his pockets and reach out hand you a scrap of paper. Can you see that?
Yes. Roll 20. Marion Allen, lady of Arkham, Massachusetts, was discovered early this morning. Okay. So hold on, Rupert. You're saying that something got Marion, but it's also that same thing's gonna get you, because Marion looks like, it sounds like from this article that you gave me that he was attacked. Is someone following you?
Oh, well, see, they don't want me to get away because they didn't want Marion to get away either. They had to stop him before it started. But me, I've already started my metamorphosis.
Point of clarification. I'm looking over Wentworth's shoulder at the article as well. This says that there's a couple of things here that there's some markings. Do you have any markings on you, perchance? If you said that the metamorphosis is starting for you?
Well, they haven't gotten to me, so they haven't been able to ruin me with their tattoos yet.
Interesting. Okay, and then it says Egyptian artifact. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I know something about that, or something about our rivals. You see, when I was young, me and some of my friends dabbled in, well, some of the darker arts that compel a man to ask questions as old as the universe itself. And Marion was the head of all of us. And there we began a society, diving into the clandestine and into the esoteric, as it were, and our studies brought us to a great relic of beyond space and time that had landed in the forests of Madagascar, and there it was wielding its magics, and we took a piece of it and sealed it in a box, and we brought it back. But there were those that felt that this magic should be contained, or that it shouldn't, you know, but they think they followed us here.
The people in Madagascar followed you here?
Yes.
Well, what happened to the artifact then?
Oh, well, Sawyer died before he could teach us how to open the lock that he had created for it. But Marion, you see, he cracked the code not 3 months ago. And he motions to a box that you now notice is sitting on his bedside table that is open. It is covered in runes. In fact, let's get a photo of it over here. Maybe. I have so many tabs open right now.
Are they cool runes? Just tell us. Use your words.
Right? It's like a long kind of bronzish box that has these like kind of runes scrawled into the side of it. And there is a very intricate lock that has multiple rotating mechanisms that has been, and ciphers on it that has been solved and kind of like opened, and the box is open.
Is there anything in the box?
It is empty.
Well, it looks like someone took whatever was inside this box out of here, Rupert. Was it you who absconded with it?
It's Marion. We were supposed to meet at the farmhouse, you know, and we're supposed to leave here and live forever.
Oh. Okay, that last part was kind of weird. Where'd that come from?
To Marion. I don't know if he made it to the farmhouse, but they got to him.
The farmhouse.
Okay. Understanding this correctly, too, the key to all of this is this missing piece that you think Marion had taken to potentially a farmhouse, but he was thwarted and covered in ruins and his tongue cut out. Am I correct?
Yes, probably so he couldn't finish the ritual. Yes.
Ritual.
But I have pieces in play. I'm going to find a way out of here. I'm going to finish it.
So out of curiosity, this is just all very, this is a lot. Why did you summon all of us then?
Well, because I thought you'd want to help me. I mean, you trust me, don't you?
But of course.
I need you to get me out of here. If it were up to my wife and my son all rot away in here, I need you to get me out.
Well, whatever Bertrand wants, I want the opposite of, so that sounds kind of good, but you're clearly a little unwell, Rupert. You're talking in circles and saying you're going to live forever. This is not normal stuff. You know how you sound, right?
Healthiest I've ever been.
I have an idea. What if we went in your place so that you can stay here and you can keep up the guise of that everything is fine, and we will go find the piece for you.
Oh, okay. You should take the box then, Keiko. The piece is it changes you. And if you're not ready for it, you should put it in the box.
Got it. Does the box lock afterwards? I'm assuming with this lock here.
Yeah. I think there's a way to lock it. Sawyer knew. Sawyer is always the most creative of us.
Sawyer. Okay. All right.
But you said he died, so that's not really any help for us.
Yes.
Well, listen, we'll go find the artifact for you so you don't run away and get unwell, but we'll stick it in this box. Probably let's not touch it, I guess, because that seems like you all have a bit of the mind fever. And I don't know, stay put, Rupert, but do your best to stay well. Don't run away. And I don't know, maybe ask for a cup of ice or something. It's really hot in here.
Just real quick, who were you talking to before we walked in here?
Oh, I was talking to them about leaving. You don't see them?
No.
We don't see anyone, Rupert.
Oh, they're right there. Wentworth, you don't see them?
Do I look around? Do I feel or sense anything?
Give me a sanity check.
All scared. Okay. Woo! Is that good or bad to succeed at that? I don't know.
Yeah, you hear it. You don't see what he's talking to, but you hear it. It sounds like someone talking in reverse. It sounds like almost violin music playing very slowly all at once. And it comes to you almost as a million hushed whispers. But you don't see anything. You just feel a warmth.
Well, Keiko's gonna sound wild, but there's some presence here, and I don't know how superstitious you are, but I guess I've always thought that things like ghosts and that sort exist, so maybe this is the supernatural finally revealing itself to us.
Or perhaps it's just the rusty pipes speaking.
Oh, I don't think I'm that old yet. Hard to tell though, but there's something going on here that's not right. Rupert's out of his mind, clearly. And this article, though, this is something. This is a real murder that happened that's not in someone's head. So if we can find the article that's mentioned in this, we can find the artifact mentioned in this article, then maybe we should do it at least for research sake.
I completely agree. Something is afoot here and we need to figure it out. Rupert, where should we go?
The farmhouse. Yes. Go to the farmhouse.
Does my character know about this farmhouse from our past or no?
Yes, you remember the old clubhouse. In fact, at some point you probably remember being annoyed at not being invited up.
We're going?
He had sort of a clique that he would take up to the farmhouse, and you assumed they were golfing and smoking and hunting all weekend, but now you begin to wonder if more nefarious things happened.
Keiko, I can lead us to the farmhouse. It's an old haunt of Rupert and his colleagues who are too cool to invite me, but we can find it. Perhaps we should gather up Dr. Jones and Ms. Williams and be on our way.
Sounds good.
Speaking of, Dr. Jones and Miss Williams find themselves going down the squeaky metal spiral staircase to the basement. The basement has this very horror movie-esque drip that kind of just pervades auditorily through the space. Although you cannot see a leak anywhere, the lights flicker their bare bulbs with a metal cage around them, and you hear a furnace kind of roaring somewhere down below you.
Jesse, watch your step. It's pretty dark down here.
Yeah, it is. How much further do you think it is to the furnace? Being down here does not make me feel at ease.
I mean, I can go ahead of you and see it. I can hear it, so it's probably close.
I'm not going to make you go alone. Let's just get to it.
Give me a couple of stealth rolls.
I'm trying to find it too.
Oh, it's in... Yeah, I found it. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jesse, as you move ahead because you're so eager to kind of like get out of this area, you are able to slip past undetected. But Dr. Jones, you feel a hand on your shoulder as a very gruff man kind of turns you around and says, "Can I help you?"
Oh,
He's
yes.
wearing like the jumpsuit of a maintenance man.
Oh, sorry to bother you. We're just here to check up on the furnace.
Are you with the company? He like kind of like looks at you like very in a confused fashion.
No. We're here for a patient. We're just visitors here, and we just wanted to see if there's any way to turn down the heat on in his room.
Oh, well, yeah, that's controlled from up top. We really can't be touching things down here, especially not as guests. I'm gonna have to escort you up. You do see
Well,
Jesse kind of like continuing to creep past.
before I go, I just have a few questions for you. How old is this hospital?
Oh, it's and Jesse, you're able because the maintenance man is distracted, able to slip past as he kind of begins like rubbing the stubble on his face and being like, um, I I think 18, 20, 30. No, that's probably not right.
Oh, and is that your plumbing gear right there? I
Oh,
know a little bit about plumbing as well, if you want to talk shop.
give me another mechanical repair roll.
I'm not good at
Yeah.
mechanical repair.
Yeah, he looks down at the tool you gestured to and he says, "Sir, that's a level." Um, and as you continue having this like painfully awkward conversation, Jesse, you are able to make your way to the furnace. You see the dimly kind of like lit glow of the corner of the basement that the furnace is in before you see the furnace itself. You feel the heat on your cheeks as it comes billowing out, and you see the flames flickering around you. It is an old stone, or not stone, metal structure, rusted, but you also smell something like sickly sweet as you begin to like approach it.
Can I roll to check this out?
Yeah, give me a, let's see, give me a, what would be investigation? I guess it could be spot hidden, I think.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Ooh. Yeah, the furnace does seem to be like in perfect working order. You see all the pipes coming out from it seem to be in good order. What strikes you is that some of the pipes seem to have a growth on them.
What is that?
And you see like a spiraling vine that ends in these very large flowers about the size of your outstretched hand. They look to be almost like striated, like stargazer lilies. The inside is like a bright green, pinkish color, and there's almost like this thin film oozing off of them and dripping onto the ground. And they're only on one of the pipes.
Does it look like the same color as the man's eyes?
It does.
Can I make an intelligence roll?
Yes. Yeah, you know you've seen this color before. You know, and you recognize the smell with that intelligence roll. This is the same smell that was coming kind of like that Wentworth was talking about when you were in Rupert's room. Like now you suddenly are able to piece it together that this smell, you could detect a faint scent of it. At first it was kind of being overpowered by the antiseptic smell, but now that you're here in the furnace and it's so strong, it
It's
does
coming
feel
through the
familiar
pipes.
to you.
Yeah. I reach out and pluck one of the flowers.
Make a, let's see, make a constitution roll. Yeah. You feel like the weird liquid substance kind of drip off the flower and onto your hand. It sizzles like for a moment against your skin, but you're able to like shake it off quickly before the acid kind of seeps in deeper. And as you're holding the lily in your two outstretched hands, you see it begin to like move and meld. The inside has all these filaments that are kind of like throbbing and pulsing, and the flower to you looks like it's alive. Like it has sentience of its own. It kind of reacts and almost like it's appraising you or looking at you. The filaments seem to be growing.
I drop it and I smash it with my foot.
Yeah, it gives out like a small hissing sound as you smash it. Upstairs, you hear it almost from down here as well. You hear a shriek emit. Wentworth, Keiko, from behind you, you see the Dr. Rupert kind of like begin to pull at his restraints and saying, I have to go, they're trying to kill me. And you see like the restraints start to like groan, and the metal even begins to bend as he tries to remove himself from this hospital bed that he's been strapped to. And he lets out this like soul-shattering shriek, almost like that of a train whistle. It seems almost not even human. So loud and so reverberating that you hear it all the way downstairs, Dr. Jones and Miss Williams.
Should we restrain him or should we go?
Well, he's already restrained. I don't know what else we could do, but we could close the door.
Can I look around as a student of science?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to look around to see if there's any sort of a sedative laying around, perhaps like in a needle form.
Yeah, give me I guess a medicine check.
This is gonna go well.
Yeah, you are able to see like a lot of needles kind of sitting around or vials, but they're all in a locked cabinet. And you're not sure which ones are the right ones to use. And you're not also quite sure how to get in. Like you see like a stack of like hypodermic needles and a bunch of vials, but they're kind of occluded in this locked cabinet.
Well, this isn't my
Behind
expertise.
frosted glass.
Not my expertise, so we should probably just hurry up and go.
Yeah, sounds right. I'll just close the door behind us and maybe ask a nurse to, lock it for now.
Okay.
So down in the basement,
Mhm.
Jesse starts looking for something to start pulling the vine off of the
Yeah.
pipe itself.
You do see like a rusted through metal pipe kind of sitting nearby. You also see like a pair of old workman's gloves kind of sitting there, leaned up against a bucket and a ladder.
So I put on the gloves and I start to pry at the vine and like pull away chunks of it. And every time I pull a chunk away, I throw it into the furnace.
Ah, amazing. Give me I guess this will be dexterity. Oh, yeah. You're able to like avoid getting this like acidic seeping substance on yourself. And every time you pluck away at the vine, you hear it almost like shriek or sizzle softly. And as you rip away at it, that sickening smell gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Upstairs, you guys hear it. Like you hear him shrieking and yelling and saying, "They're trying to kill me! They're trying to kill me!" And you hear the groan of metal as one of the straps snaps. Down below, Jesse, you are successful in your endeavor. You are able to remove all of this vine and throw it into the furnace. Give me a sanity check as like the fumes from the flowers hitting the furnace kind of like come up. You see a color hang in the air for just a moment. It feels like it's moving or hypnotic in some way. It's a color you've never seen before, impossible to describe. And there's a part of it or a part of you that feels like it wants nothing more than to embrace you.
I shouldn't be breathing this. And starts.
As Jesse's
Yeah.
coughing, I just like get louder and louder in the conversation.
Hmm.
Are you sure this is not a wrench?
You lose 10 sanity, by the way.
Of course.
And at this, the maintenance person like pushes you aside and kind of like runs downstairs like towards the coughing. Seeing that this woman is in distress, he kind of snaps into action and is like, "You there, come on. She needs help. She needs fresh air." And he like kind of grabs her under one arm. He starts helping you up the stairs. "This is why civilians shouldn't be down here. Now, please." And he motions to you, Dr. Jones. "I must insist. The two of you must go. Please, she needs assistance."
Right, my apologies. Come on, Jesse, let's go.
Oh God, it stinks.
What happened down there?
There was a vine wrapped around a pipe.
A vine?
Yeah, big, like lilies, green and pink. I thought it might be poisonous, so.
Are you feeling okay? Were you poisoned, you think? Are you feeling dizzy, nauseous?
I feel very strange. I'll be okay, I think.
Maybe we should step outside so you can get some fresh air.
I pull off the glove, and when I look at my hand, is there a burn there?
You see like what was the beginning of a burn from like almost like an acidic substance landing on your hand, but you were able to like get it off quick enough that it just left your hand looking incredibly dry, the way weak acids do. Like the lines on your hand are exaggerated, but the skin itself is not broken or burned.
Jesse, what happened to your hand?
Sap from the flower. It was unlike any plant I'd ever seen before. It like almost seemed like it was writhing.
Right. This doesn't make any sense. We should probably go get you checked up by a doctor or
But wait, no, wait. It was huge. It was a massive vine just growing on the furnace. Why didn't anyone take it down?
maybe no one goes down there.
You have to perform building maintenance, don't you? Aren't there laws about that?
I'm not sure. I mean, we could take it up with someone in charge, but for now, I think we should take you somewhere where you can get some air or get some water.
Yeah. No, wait, no, not here. There's something strange about this hospital.
Well, why don't we go somewhere else? Maybe we could go somewhere outside of the hospital. We can go, there's got to be a tavern or something, a bar.
I think a bar's the last thing I need. Let's just go back to Rupert. I don't want to stay here any longer than I have to.
All right.
As you come upstairs to rejoin Rupert, you see Avebury and Keiko standing outside his room.
I think it's a good time to go right now. He's trying to break out of his restraints. We have a box and a piece of artifact. We'll explain on the way. We just really got to go now.
What?
Oh, some stuff happened to us too.
Oh,
Great.
great.
Let's talk about it on our way out of here, please.
Shouldn't we call someone if he's trying to break out again?
We will find somebody on the way.
Like literally, I'm like pushing them. Like go.
Okay. Wow.
Right.
You're stronger than you look.
I pack a good punch sometimes.
As you're pushing them away, you hear like shattering glass come from the room.
Are you sure we shouldn't be checking up on that?
That can't be good. I go back to the room and look in.
Rupert is gone.
Did you jump out the window?
You do notice that there was like a smaller window on the side that was propped open and a larger window that could have been opened, but instead has been just crashed.
Amazing.
through. Yeah.
I lean out over the window to see if I can see if Rupert's down below.
Yeah. Give me a let's see. Give me a
Spot.
a spot hidden roll.
All right.
Even though he's not exactly hidden, I think it would just be like a notice roll, but I don't know if it's a
Hidden
roll.
to me.
Yeah, you do see something. It couldn't. There's no way it could be Rupert. It could not be your friend. For the form that is moving on the street down below, surely the fall alone would have greatly injured Rupert. And the sort of strange, sprawled out, spindly creature you see down below is running on all fours with an expeditiousness that you know your friend is not capable of.
Well, that's a mystery for sure, but not a great one. I get back out of the room. You three, you're never gonna believe what I saw, but Rupert's gone. There's a weird four-legged creature running away from the hospital, and something really weird is afoot. But
Rupert's gone?
Rupert's gone. I think he
How?
escaped. I think he escaped out the window. Maybe that's a thing.
Probably headed to the farmhouse. This is what I was trying to say. We should probably hurry up and get there.
If he jumped, then he's dead.
There's no body, just something running away. We should go to the farmhouse. That's where he wanted to go. If he's heading anywhere, it's there. And we should probably tell you all what we saw.
Should we talk to Agnes or Bertrand or
I'm not quite sure Agnes
before?
is going to believe us, and I don't think Mr. Avebury really likes Bertram very much. Just
Good
Yeah,
point.
Bertrand's kind of a sack of uselessness, so there's no point in informing him, and don't want to worry
From
Agnes.
pooping
So
diapers to letting feces fall out of his mouth, it seems like.
that's about it.
I did not get a good impression of that man.
That's the scope of things. But come, let's find a carriage and get to the farmhouse.
But if we have to report this or something.
To who? Who's going to believe us?
Well, he's gone. There's no body. We should still tell someone.
so, just out of curiosity, because I think I might have known how this kind of worked out. But when you reported the other person, right? Because that was kind of what you were going to go downstairs to do. What did they end up doing for you?
They said that it was they didn't have a patient like that.
It was a visitor that Rupert had. That's who that man was.
So, do you think that they're going to actually listen to you about Rupert?
They're sisters. They have to.
I think it might be best if we use scientific deduction to figure out where this artifact is located so we can put it back in this box. And I have a feeling that once we do, all of this will dissipate very quickly.
I don't think that's staying here. We can certainly tell a nurse on the way out, if you wish, Miss Williams, and then I think we should leave this place. There's something wrong here.
We can leave them a note, and then we'll grab you some water.
A note's great.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll leave them a note.
I have a pad and I have a pen. I pull out the silver like penknife that her brother Hugo had given to her, and she holds it very precious.
Jesse's already walking to the nurse's station.
That's great. Perfect.
Well, okay.
Yes, you walk to the nurse's station, and what do you say to the sister sitting there?
Sister, Rupert's gone. The window's been shattered.
You notice now that like the sister sitting there is also like a bit more like she seems a bit stressed as well. Like her brow seems moist as though she's been sweating lightly, and she seems a little distracted. And as she looks up at you, her eyes look to be like a different color than they were before. And she says, "Oh, gone? How would something like that happen? We seem to be losing so many people today."
There's a note that will tell you everything in the room. I just I have to get going. You understand?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
We'll look into it for the Mr. Merriweather. Yeah,
Of course you will. And may God be with you.
and with you as well. Go in peace.
Jessie walks slowly, and then as soon as she's out of earsight, runs.
Mm-hmm.
Note's fine.
Okay.
Note is fine. Note is fine. Note is good.
Basically, the note is window broken, straps broken, patient gone. Be back shortly.
So go in the basement.
Right. P.S. Don't go in the basement.
Yes. Yeah.
Their eyes are all messed up.
It is
There's
with
a kind
deep,
of
haunting words hanging in the air, with a hastily written note left on a pillowcase, that we will take our break. We will be back in 8 to 10 minutes. Sorry.
cool.
In the meantime, make sure that you go and donate and check out Code 2040. It's the organization we're raising money for today. Code 2040 is a great charity that's dedicated to ending racial disparity in the tech industry. Do be sure to check that out and toss them a couple of coins if you can. We're going to go stretch and use the facilities and take care of our physical bodies, since we're already taking care of our metaphysical ones. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Call of Cthulhu special one shot for Roll 20 Con. I hoped you were able to stretch, get some water, take a quick bio break. Just as a quick reminder, we are raising money for Code 2040 today, a wonderful charity organization dedicated to ending racial disparity in the tech industry. So don't forget to keep those donations coming in. And we are going to go right back into the wonderful cosmic horror world that is Lovecraft. So you, I think when we had last left off, our party had decided to take off towards the farmhouse. So outside, you do see that the carriage has now been repaired and your driver is there. Kind of like half asleep in the driver's seat. You see that he's like taken his jacket off and kind of rolled it up to be a pillow, and he has it under one shoulder, and he's kind of dozed off in the driver's seat with the reins still in his hands.
I will not drive this time.
Hey, old chap, time to wake up and let's get some, I don't know what they call it. Let's get some miles on these wheels.
What? Orange.
Yep, love oranges. They're a great way to wake up and make some juice too.
Oh, old Wentworth, is that you?
Yep,
Jesse,
still
are you sure you don't want
me.
to drive?
I think it would be for the best.
I can drive.
Oh, are you quite good at driving, Keiko?
I might be a little bit better than Bessie.
All right, well,
That's not very hard. Anyway.
feel free.
I don't know why you don't trust my driving. I've been driving for nigh on 60 years.
And that
Why?
means you should take a break.
As soon as I came out of my mother's giblets, the first thing I did was position myself on a hobby horse before I could even walk.
Well,
So
bless
not that
your
I don't
mother's
wanna
giblets,
hear-
but yes.
I imagine you
Keiko.
weren't drunk
don't-
then, though.
I don't want to hear about your mother's giblets, but we should all get inside if we're going to hurry up and try to
She
beat
was a lovely lady.
This is going to a weird place for me. I think we should all just not talk for a little bit.
Want to go for a ride, old chap? Come on, we're going to the farmhouse. Should be fun.
Oh, the farmhouse. Lots of good times to be had at the farmhouse. And he gives the reins
Hopefully
a
not
crack.
involving your mother.
Incredible.
You know, my mother got up to some things at the farmhouse too before she passed. It's a
Such
bit
as?
of a club.
What did she get up to?
Oh, you know, the usual hunting, riding horses. Not much farming for a farmhouse, but for these city types, you know, anything that's surrounded by grass is a farmhouse.
Is this an incredibly long ride to the farmhouse? How long is this going to take? I mean, would I know?
You know, this is a bit of a trek outside of the city. It's going to take you about 60 minutes.
Incredible. Well, do tell us more, old chap, about your mother. Go on, regale us with stories about how amazing she is.
Him. Don't encourage him.
I want to hear more about this mother person that I've never met or heard of before this moment.
Why are you
My
doing this to
mother.
me?
The late Gloria Carpington was a lovely lady. She was famous around for her legs. For you
Huh.
see, she was a dancer. And in those days, being a dancer was very spicy, extra hot, you know? So I've grown up being somewhat of a progressive man myself.
Jesse pulls out a Bible. And just starts
I'm
reading
sure
from
you
it.
were progressive for the year 200.
Oh yes, I tried to learn the can when I was a boy at school. Unfortunately, I threw my hip out, but I lied to the boys and said it happened during a rugby game. Oh yes, I was quite smooth, you know, quite a master of obfuscation.
As he's like riding the carriage along.
This is quite the tale. And I just egg him on because I know Jesse hates it. I'm like, tell us more for the whole 60 minutes. The stories.
Oh, yes, in my rugby days, I really got into it sometimes. You know, I used to lie and say it was experimentation, but that was the first time I really learned to appreciate the male form. Something awakened in me that summer, and my body bloomed much like a sunflower in spring. I opened myself to the sunshine and to rainbows and found myself a new man. Ah, yes, the old rugby club. Oh, and Travis, how I miss his lithe body. Oh, those were the days, Wentworth. But now my life leaves me. I'm sure Travis is probably already dead as we are all bound for the grave. But those days, toweling ourselves off, showering with the rugby team, those are what I live for now, and the memory of that keeps me invigorated until finally they lower me into the ground.
Well, hopefully when you're in heaven, you're going to meet old Travis once again in the rugby field in the sky.
I just give Miss Williams a big hug and kind of like muff her ears just a little bit.
I think Nevada wakes up and he's just like, oh, what did I miss?
A lot of nothing.
Dr. Jones, there's nothing that makes you feel more young than hearing an old man talk about his youth.
Oh, I missed out on the tales. Oh, can you repeat that again?
Do you have time to stop at a church? I need to make a confession.
You might just want to pull out your rosary. I don't think we have time for that.
I left it at home.
I have one you can borrow.
No, that's quite all right.
It's a bit sticky.
It's quite all right, sir. Thank you.
So tell us, why is it sticky? we all here really want to know, and I'm curious myself.
Well, you see he kind of like gets a bit distracted and says, "Oh, now isn't that the farmhouse out there on the horizon?"
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
It does look like a farmhouse. However, for science, I'd really like to know how and why this became sticky.
Oh, well, you see, back before when my knees worked, there are things you can do with beads that...
And we're here! Oh, thank you so much for giving us this ride here. May God have mercy on your soul. And Jessie doesn't even wait for it to stop, just yeets herself out of the carriage.
Well, thanks for those old tales. They were great, and listen, on the ride back, we should think of some more good nuggets for us, okay? That was a great 60 minutes, well spent.
I will traverse the muddled tapestry of my mind and attempt to draw from it a tale or two for you, Wentworth. I'm sure you were all so crazy in our boyhood days.
And incredible. You know, when I was a boy, you were already an old man, so you just keep getting older. You won't die.
Is that shoe polish in your hair?
That is all. That's what the young kids call gel. I've been trying it out. Gel is a new thing.
Oh.
The ladies love it.
Oh.
No, we don't.
The ladies I want to talk to love little gel in the hair. It's not shoe polish. The label has a sticker over that says shoe polish.
I wasn't aware you could talk to corpses.
Nevada asks if... Can I get some of that gel? I kind of want to try some of that too.
Incredible. I pull it out of my jacket, just carrying it around.
He like touches your hair a little bit and he puts it onto his own.
I grab both of their hats as gentlemen and just like slap it on top of their heads and be like, we don't need gel right now. We need to go.
Right. Mystery, research, science.
But don't
adventure.
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy all of it because, you know, after time, everything starts going south and what was here is suddenly here and what was here is suddenly a little lopsided.
It does
you
move
enjoy
around.
it while you have it.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
not how that works and anatomically speaking, but I don't have time to explain all of this because we have something to do. But when I come back, I will truly explain how your body goes from young to old from anatomical situation. Okay, let's go.
And you find yourselves on the drive to the farmhouse. The farmhouse itself at one point was a beautiful little lodge, kind of in the middle of the country, but since then has fallen into some disrepair. Um, the porch to it is creaky, the paint is peeling off, and the structure itself seems sort of wind worn. You do see kind of strange scratches in the paint on it, and the roof has kind of fallen into disrepair as well. There is a well on the side, and somewhere in the background, you can also see a barn where you assume at one point horses were kept. There is a polo grounds to your left that you imagine the boys at one point played on, and there is even a little placard kind of nailed next to the door. Kind of with the boys' names on it, the members' names on it.
I go up to the placard and I start writing my name in also.
Wentworth, I'm surprised your name's not up there already.
It was totally there. I'm just refreshing the ink war because time for how long I've been a member of the club.
Those are engraved, though.
Just fixing it a little bit. Don't worry, it's great. Okay, but we're at the farmhouse. This old haunt. Seen it many times, definitely.
Sir,
shall we...
I find your priorities troubling.
Well, listen, when you get to be my age, again, still quite young, especially compared to our driver. But when you get to my age, priorities do change. That is a fact of life.
Yes, from chasing skirts to chasing bone repair. I understand.
Well, speaking of priorities, there was a priority for us to find this piece of an artifact so that we can stop everything that is going on.
How is that supposed to help?
Well, this fellow in the article, Marion, he was murdered, but claimed that someone was following him looking for this piece of artifact. And our friend Rupert believed those same people were after him.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? My head is just...
You need to take a walk, Miss Williams?
Maybe, yeah, that might help.
I will take her to the barn. Perhaps maybe you guys can go over into is there a house? You said there was a house, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Perhaps you guys can go in the house, and I'll take her to the barn to get some fresh-ish air.
Great plan.
All right, keep an eye out for a weird Egyptian thing that fits in that very specific looking box that you have there, Keiko.
Sounds good.
All right.
Don't look at eyes.
I'm sorry?
Don't look at eyes.
Don't look at eyes.
Don't look at eyes.
Like
okay.
Your eyes?
Anyone's.
But I'm looking at your eyes right now.
Don't.
Okay. Why? What was the significance behind that?
You'll start to see colors.
But I see colors all the time. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's not the same.
Let's take a walk. Let's talk about this.
As those two leave, I go up to the door of the farmhouse. I'm going to see if it's unlocked.
It is. Yeah, the door creaks in, and you notice the inside of the house is a little bit colder than you would expect. Almost as though the door has been opened recently.
Keep your wits about you, Dr. Jones. We may not be the only people here looking for this artifact.
Yes, I feel a chill as well.
Let's proceed with caution. I'd like to stealth into the house then.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Be stealthy, old man. Oh. It's fine.
Can I get a stealth from Dr. Jones as well?
Yes. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it.
Far right under sciences.
where you least
Under
expect it.
Sciences.
Above swim.
Above. Found it.
Can't wait till we start swimming in this game.
Ooh. So you duck kind of like down to examine something that has caught your eye on the floor. And just as you do, you're kind of missed by a gentleman who walks forward from the back of the house, kind of looking at you, Wentworth, a bit angrily. You recognize him right away as the heir to Rupert's empire. He looks at you kind of annoyed and says, Wentworth, what are you doing out here?
So this is Bertrand.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
I gotta ask you the same question, little guy. What brings you all the way out here to the old clubhouse? My name's on the door. Yours isn't. I've noticed that.
Well, I stand to inherit it.
Well, once the old man goes, sure, but till then, it's still Rupert's, still his friends.
I mean, Mom's mother seems to think he's gonna go any minute now, but I think he's lingering on for a while. I just thought I'd come by and see if there were any repairs that I needed to do or anything I should arrange before this whole place becomes mine, you know?
Well, sure, that makes perfect sense, especially while your father is. Did you not get the note? We left the note. Your father kind of went missing from the hospital just moments ago.
Missing? I drove down here in the car about 2 hours ago. You're telling me in that span of time he went missing?
Yes. We're not sure where he went, but I'll be straight with you, kid. I don't like you very much, but he is your father, so we thought he might be coming here.
How would he get here?
I don't know. We took a carriage. Maybe he did the same. Maybe he'll be en route any moment now. I don't know.
Why would he come here? Oh, very well. You really shouldn't be here. It's not exactly your property.
Well, it's my friends, and again, like I said, my name is on the door.
Go ahead and roll me a...
Persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion.
Hell yeah. I'm only good at like one thing. Not that good, huh? Not that good, huh?
Wentworth, despite your name being on the door, I feel like you were never really welcome to this place. I don't think my father invited you once while he was out here.
Well, how could you possibly remember? You're a young thing, and you're always busy going out and about with your friends. You don't keep track of your father's everyday life.
I keep track enough to know that they never invited you to any of the clubhouse activities. I'm gonna have to insist that you leave.
Well, I'm gonna have to insist that I stay, and I'm while I'm talking, trying to like see if Dr. Jones is like scooting around or like what's going on over there.
Yeah. I think Dr. Jones is like shuffling through stuff like notes, or trying to see what was on the floor from earlier.
Yeah, what you noticed on the floor earlier was a sort of like mud smear, as if someone had tracked mud kind of like into the living room. And you had ducked down to like examine it, and the chair therefore obfuscated your view from... That was a weird sentence, but you get my drift. Bertrand did not see you because you were hunched over.
All right, I'm gonna not do anything with that conversation and pretend that I'm not here and continue searching around the living room. Is there anything in the area that does Bertrand have mud on his shoes?
Yeah, give me a trying to see. It would be another stealth check to see if you can creep around the chair and like get a look at his shoes.
Ooh, okay.
Perfect. Yeah, you're able to like kind of crawl on all fours carefully around one corner of the chair. You do notice his shoes are pristine.
Can I see where the tracks are going to?
They seem to have come in from the outside, and then the mud kind of got massaged into the carpet and is worn out by the time it goes anywhere in particular.
Got it. Okay. I'm going to... Can I roll investigate just to like look around?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Where's investigate?
I think it'll be spot
Sorry.
hidden. Yeah, I'm not sure if
okay.
there's an investigate.
Uh,
Yeah, in your attempts to be quiet, you
darn
have
it.
to you're very limited in like what you can look at. So you kind of like you see some things that you could maybe look at kind of past the chair, but realize that if you go for them, then Bertrand will know that you are there. You'll
Okay.
fall like directly in his eye line.
I'm going to stay hidden in the living room until Wentworth is ready for us to leave.
Got it.
Perfect.
So I noticed that Dr. Jones is looking around, so I'm gonna just try to be a distraction now. Well, listen here, Bertrand. I'm your elder, and you should respect me. And I'm not moving a foot until you make me. Go on, come at me, old boy. And I do that old timesy.
Are you squaring up?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I can't fight by it. There's no. Actually, that's not true. I have pretty good brawl. I have okay brawl.
Yeah. Okay. So, go ahead and roll. Let's see. Let me just look at this. Let me just look at this real quick.
I think Jones is going to signal real quick so that you can see him. Like, do you need help?
And I go,
okay.
nope.
All right.
All right.
I challenge you to fisticuffs. Thank you, chat. Fisticuffs is the word. Timesy fist.
So, are you going into like a defensive position?
Yeah, I'm trying to egg him on to come towards me to get away from the rest of the house.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll a, I guess like it'll be a brawl check.
Okay.
And it'll be versus his fighting skill as well.
Oh, okay.
I think it's brawl.
Oh, great. We're doing great here. It was very close, by the way. 38 versus 35. Ag control roll 20.
Yeah, I think. Okay, let me see here. Sorry, I'm just refreshing myself on the rules. So it's about if both fail, okay, no damage is inflicted. So you he does like put his hands on you, but you can tell he's not trying to hurt you. So he kind of like grabs you and says like, I don't know what's gotten into you, Wentworth, but this is highly irregular.
Oh, that's right. And when you age like a fine wine like me, you become a little irregular. Haha, that's a weird butt joke. You'll get it later when you're older.
You're
but come on.
starting to remind me of that mania that overtook father. Are you sure you're all right? And he kind of like looks you in your eyes while he's still like holding you close.
I'm doing perfectly all right. In fact, never been better. Come on, let's fight outside like men. And I'm trying to like, if he's holding on to me, I'm basically trying to like pull him backwards out to the door.
Yeah. He follows you, but more so out of concern than out of actually wanting to fight you. Yeah.
I win the pity roll.
He just kind of follows you out and is like, this is what is wrong with you? Why are you trying to fight me, man? Just leave before I have to call the authorities.
Go ahead and try. You can come all the way to this farmhouse. The roads are really muddy. No one cares about this farmhouse. What kind of crime could I possibly do? Go on and call them. Call the popo.
You're belligerent. And he just like,
well, I had 2 drinks today. And what time is it? It's like 10 a.m.
It's like 6 o'clock now. Yeah.
Oh, dope. So I'm a little behind, actually. I can't possibly be drunk. I haven't had my 3 p.m. martini.
You see him kind of like look over at the driver and say, by God, Carlisle, have you given some of that engine oil of yours? And inside, you are left alone to your machinations, Jones. Meanwhile, on the other side of the farm, Keiko and Jesse, you find yourselves approaching the barn. The ground here is a little marshy and difficult to traverse, especially if you're wearing high heels. And you see that the barn doors have been thrown open and are just like flapping in the wind with a loud, like kind of thwacking sound as the thin wood of them kind of like gets pushed back and forth every so often. Jesse, you see a strange light emanating from the woods to your right, as you can see on this map.
Are you okay?
I'm. Do you see that?
See what?
The light in the distance.
I'm gonna try to focus in on the light to see if I could see anything.
Yeah, give me a sanity check.
Cute. Did it work? I can't see you. No.
You lose
There it
3
is.
sanity.
Okay.
And you hear something like you hear something distracting from the barn behind you, but you don't see the light ahead that she's talking about.
Oh my.
Sorry, my bad.
You're fine.
I mean, there's something behind there. Is that what you're referring to?
Maybe? I try to get a better look at the light.
Yeah, it's like pulsing in between the trees, kind of flitting through like shafts of sunlight. There's something about it that's like almost beckoning you closer. It's beautiful.
Jesse starts to take a step forward towards it. And another. And another.
Jesse, I'm not sure
starting
that that's
to run.
Okay, that's not a great idea. And I like run after her.
Yeah, go ahead and give me opposed dexterity rolls, I guess. I think that would be.
Cool.
Yeah, Keiko, you are able to catch up. Although Jessie is running pretty fast, she's almost running a bit like distracted or tunnel vision, and she trips, and as one of her shoes kind of gets caught in the mud, and this slows her down enough to where you very deftly are able to like kind of pick your way through the muddy ground and grab her.
Awesome. If I can, I am of a smaller stature, so best way possible for me is I'm going to try to jump on her back to like almost grapple her to like stop her from running.
Yeah. Give me a, let's see. I guess give me an unarmed roll.
Boop, boop, boop. Where's that one at?
It's going to be under the combat tab.
Roger that. Unarmed. There we go. Found it. Oh.
Should I roll against that or no?
It's a failure. So basically, like, instead of an opposed roll, what's going to happen is she's going to try to leap at you as she catches up with you, and then you kind of stumble, and she expects you to stop after you fall, but you keep moving forward on your hands and knees. And not anticipating this, Keiko kind of lands in the marshy ground next to you.
Oh, confounded. But Jesse, you need to stop moving.
I have to go.
Why
I
do you
have to go. I don't know.
Is God compelling you to go there? No, he's telling you to stay here probably so that you can stay safe.
May I roll an intelligence check off of that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So Jessie shakes her head for a moment and then stops crawling through the muck and like leans back, still on her knees. Not God, no. Is the light still there after I open my eyes?
Now it seems to have faded, but you still hear the thrumming. You still feel like the very air around you has changed somehow. You feel warm shafts of light kind of around you, and the air here feels warmer, more welcoming, inviting. But you don't see the light anymore. You just feel like almost these rays of warmth kind of like caressing the side of your face, like landing somewhere in the ground around you.
I can't. Things are. I think I'm losing my mind.
Oh my goodness, no. No, Jesse, no. It's that there are unexplained things right now, which will have an explanation, I promise. It always happens. Things unravel. But for right now, because it seems that your reality is a little bit shattered, we should bring you back to something that you might be a little bit more comfortable with. I mean, I am not a woman of religion, but I do know a couple of things. So um uh, our Father who art in whatever
Heaven,
that place is, yeah, hallowed be your name.
thy
I really don't
name,
know these. Okay.
thy
Give
kingdom
me an
come, thy
occult
will be
roll.
done, as on earth as it is in heaven.
There you
Both
go.
of
Just
you give
keep
me
saying it to yourself.
an occult roll as you say these words.
For whom? I apologize.
Both of you.
Roger that.
Roger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as the words leave your lips, the both of you, you feel them like almost hang in the air and like become warbled and distorted. Like you're trying to say them correctly, but when you hear them come back on your ears, it's almost like despite your best efforts, like it's being said backwards or it's strange in some way. Once again, you hear that same sound of like almost like violins. It sounds strange. You didn't even know you were capable of making sounds like this.
That's very interesting. The barn walls maybe distorting sound, which is possible why this weird. No, no. What do you mean
No,
no?
voices don't sound like that.
I mean, there are different ways to hear voices. Like I said, sound does bounce.
Our voices don't
Oh,
sound like that. Say it with me.
okay. Um. Uh. Our Father
Father,
who
who
art
is
heaven.
in name.
This is useless. I don't understand this.
I've said these words almost every day for my entire life.
And now they
I
seem
could say them in my sleep. I can't say them now.
okay.
What is this place?
So there's something that is going on that is causing distress to sound, and if I could just figure out where this is,
It's
I'll
like
show
the
you
air's
what.
thick in my mouth. My tongue can't form the words.
Okay, then let's. You were right. Maybe we should just move towards the light. Let's just at least get out of this area. And like, I help her get up and like start walking towards where she was running towards.
Mm-hmm. You get up and begin walking towards the forest. Meanwhile, inside the house, Dr. Jones, what do you look for?
I think Dr. Jones wants to see if there's anything that's been misplaced or anything that's been like moved around recently.
You do notice that some things have been kind of like knocked this way and that, almost as though looking for notes or journals. You do notice there is one book that's kind of sitting open upon the mantle.
Okay, I'm going to pick it up and start reading what's on the page.
You see that this is actually the notes of one Sawyer that you remember being mentioned from earlier. Sawyer Sutterford spent his time kind of as a sort of cryptolinguist and kept his notes in immaculate order in this book. You do notice the middle page has been ripped out. As you kind of flip through it, it occurs to you that Sawyer not only designed the box that housed this artifact at some point, but was also actively working on trying to decipher some of the runes that he had seen other occult groups similar to his use.
I'm going to take the book and I think Dr. Jones is going to walk around the house a little bit more just to see if there's like a bar or something
Yeah.
else that could be helpful.
As
Just
like
to
a
see if, like,
weapon.
yeah, like, if there's like a knife or like a
Mhm. There's a shoehorn, a fire poker, and there is also in the kitchen exactly one knife.
okay. I'm gonna see if I can take the fire poker.
Perfect. Yeah. So you're able to arm yourself with a fire poker.
All right, cool. So I think Dr. Jones is going to carry this fire poker and just wander around the house a little bit more just to see if there's anything else I can find.
You notice that the back door has been thrown open, as though someone came through here with great expediency.
Okay. I'm going to, are there like footsteps or anything that's like that I can see on the ground?
Give me a spot hidden.
Okay.
Yeah, you see that in the wet kind of gravelly ground that is outside of the back door, that there are two boots that have been removed from their place. There's like a line of rubber boots, and there's one pair there's an empty space where they would have gone. You see two footsteps, or a pair of footsteps kind of leading out towards the barn.
I'm going to go back to Wentworth and see what's going on there before I continue.
Wentworth, as you're trying to distract Bertrand, your arm starts to itch. Your hand specifically, I should say. Or no, your
sort
arm.
of, yeah. Are we fully outside already? Or are we kind of like in the doorway still?
No, you're outside now.
Okay. All right then, Bertrand. I'll give you this round, for old time's sake, for your father. Your old pup. You'll haven't seen the last of me. Wentworth Avebury, the greatest fighter. Oh, God, my hand is so itchy. Oh Lord, heavens, so itchy. Oof. What does my hand look like now?
As you look at it, you notice that the flesh has begun to grow moss in the exact same pattern that the handprints were in.
Oh, this is highly irregular. Hey Bertrand, we're done fighting now, right? Is there any like hand cream in that house over there somewhere, or?
What is that? Don't you wash?
Listen, I wash pretty well. I drink a lot of alcohol, so I'm pretty sanitary. But this is where that strange man grabbed me outside the hospital. Long story, but
I think you might need some help with that. It's some type of fungus. Oh, I touched you. Gross.
Oh, you're gross. How dare you, sir? Does it smell weird? Is it like moving? Is it growing super fast? Or is it just kind of like just looks like moss?
Give me a natural world check.
Oh, that's a new one. Okay, well.
Yeah, it looks like normal moss.
This is just normal moss, Bertrand. Settle down. All right. Well, I'm gonna just.
Why is it growing on your hand then?
What? Why are you such a turd? And I try to scrape off the moss. Does it scrape off?
Give me a Constitution check.
Oh God.
Yeah, you are able to pull off the moss. As you do, the skin underneath begins to kind of pull away with it in clumps.
Okay, bad. I just take out my handkerchief and wrap it around my hand for now and sort of tie it as like a temporary, so I don't have to look at it. I don't have to do this issue right now.
Yeah. But you don't like hurt yourself. It just seems like it's coming off easily almost.
Okay, that's not.
It wants to come off.
I'll have to go see the old lady in the alley for some more creams for my aging skin. It's not great. All right, Bertrand, you take care, and I'm definitely leaving. And I kind of,
Yes, you
I just
should
stand
go to
there.
the doctor with that sick disease you have.
Well, I'm not going back to that weird hospital. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you what for.
You're literally molding, old man.
I'm doing quite fine. Do I see Dr. Jones trying to merge, or is Dr. Jones
I
like still
think
totally?
Jones is like in a bush nearby, and it's just like psst, psst.
Okay, so I just stand there and I wait for Bertrand to like go back in the house. I'm like, go back inside, you old so and so.
You can tell he doesn't want to be around you. Oh, it works. He's just like shaking his head. You do notice he licks his thumb and wipes your name from the plate as he goes back inside.
I hate it. Okay.
Because he's
make
that
notes
kind of
to
a
go-
bag.
I make a note to go back and do that again later when I've got time, but not right now. I go over to Dr. Jones's bush that you're hiding. You know. Dr. Jones, did you find anything interesting in there?
Oh, I found this book. What happened to your hand?
Oh, I'm going moss now. So
You're going. That's not.
this is where that weird man touched me outside the hospital, and it's not doing great. I don't know if it's me
does not
being.
look good.
I don't know if it's related. I know Miss Williams spoke of some weird plant activity in the basement of that hospital. Did you see it? Did it look like this?
I didn't get a chance to see it, but I mean that doesn't look good. Is it okay if I roll a natural world skill
Yeah,
check
of course.
just to see?
To examine it. Yeah, you take one look at it and your hand like recoils in horror because you've never seen moss like this before. As you look at it carefully, you notice that it's not just like normal moss, but like a million little tendrils that kind of react when you attempt to touch it.
Wentworth, I don't want to cause a panic, but this is not regular moss we're dealing with.
It's not. It's irregular moss. Amazing.
It's moving.
I just wrap my hand again. I'm going to pretend like you didn't say that, and we are going to find a solution to this.
We might need to do something about this before it grows and continues to.
Okay, this is I don't know. I'm freaking out a little bit. Maybe when Keiko comes back, I know she's a scientist of the highest order. She can help.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I study languages. What did you study again, Dr. Jones? What are you a doctor of, Dr. Jones? What the hell did you study in school?
Archaeology.
Oh right, okay, that tracks.
Well, it's like, what would you say you do here?
But did you find anything in the house? Did you find that artifact we're talking about?
No, I didn't find the artifact, but I did find this book, and has a page ripped out of it.
Can I read any of the runes in the book? Well, first of all, if they're Egyptian, I have a skill in that.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a hieroglyphics roll.
Everything I have a skill in, it doesn't work in these ones.
Yeah, you try to like look at it and focus on it, but as you grab the book and start flipping through the pages, you can't help but notice out of the corner of your eye that the moss is growing out past the bandages you've placed on it.
All right. Well, listen. Maybe we have time to sit.
If at any point you need to X card, just let me know.
Oh no, I'm Michelle is incredibly disgusted. Wentworth is also having a hard time, but it's fine. Thank you for checking in. All right. You know what, Dr. Jones? Let's put a pin in this. I can't really concentrate right now. There's a lot going on. Let's just try to find this artifact. Did you notice anything else weird about the house?
Oh, right. So I think you were right. Someone was in the house. There was mud everywhere. And
was it just Bertrand being dirty?
No,
Someone
it wasn't
else?
Bertrand. No,
right,
I mean, he's also dirty, but you know.
Saying.
Yeah. There are footsteps that are leading out.
All right, maybe we should try to reconnect with the ladies and see if they're okay, actually. If there's another group here, looking
Yes.
for the artifact, they might be trying to harm them as well.
Yes. Let's
Okay.
bring them with us to the next spot.
Sure. I would say we start walking towards the barn, which is where they went.
Yeah. As you start walking towards the barn, you see them disappear just into the tree line, like just as you are like kind of walking in or walking towards them. Meanwhile, Keiko, Jesse, as you walk into the tree line, the light comes back. At least for you, Jesse, you can see it. It's so clear. This strange scintillating light. At times it looks lime green, and then it almost seamlessly shifts into fuchsia. Like you can't find words to describe it. It's unlike anything you've ever seen.
The colors again. Over and over, the colors.
What color are you seeing?
I know
right
what
now?
that man was talking about now. The colors of those flowers, the colors of the lights, the colors in their eyes.
Okay, let's try to relax a second. So you see
Look at my eyes. Are they turning colors too?
A look in her eyes.
Give me a sanity check.
Woo!
Yeah. You don't see anything. You just see her normal eyes peering back at you.
Okay, so I see color. I see they're a beautiful.
I don't see it.
I don't see it. I'm sorry. I just see brown, beautiful eyes.
Why is this happening?
I don't have the answer right now. I will have answers, I promise. Like I said, the truth will always unveil itself. I think we just need to maybe keep pushing on.
Did he see them too? The professor?
Colors? As a matter of fact, DM, do I remember, or Keeper, sorry, do I remember him saying anything about colors?
You remember him talking to someone that wasn't there, but you don't remember him speaking about colors in particular, per se.
So he wasn't talking about colors really, but there was question. Can you see other people?
Can I see other people?
I know that sounds very strange.
That was a question for our keeper.
Yeah. When you look around after Keiko asks you if you can see other people, you see now to your right a trail of large, beautiful lilies with striated colors leading like almost in a perfect path to a clearing up ahead.
Do you see the lilies?
Keeper, do I see the lilies?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the lilies that were in the furnace.
Oh my.
Those are the colors I see.
Okay, but they're just lilies.
No, they're not. Don't touch them.
Wasn't
Not unless you want to end up like me.
No. I have a strong background in biology, just a little bit in botany. I understand not to touch flowers. You told me not to touch them. I understand. Let's just keep proceeding.
They move.
As do you. So let's keep going.
And I like gently like push her down the path to where we should go.
Mm-hmm. As you follow this path of flowers with Dr. Jones and Aveberry not far behind you, you come upon a clearing in the center of which you see Rupert. He is bent over in kind of like that yoga child's pose with his hands kind of stretched out in front of him, forming like a triangle. He seems to be like straining himself in some way. And the clearing is completely transformed. All around you, you see not trees, but strange growths reaching up towards the sky. They're purple and green and blue in color and shine with a almost mucosal sheen that you're not used to, almost like they have oil slick on them. They're dripping some strange substance onto the ground, but the strangest thing is that they all seem to pulse with the same rhythm and move together, almost like they're part of a coral reef, almost like there's some invisible wave or invisible current moving them together. This strange growth kind of reaches up towards the sky as far as you can see. And every time you breathe in and breathe out, you feel it just quiver.
Well, this is a bit strange. Oh my, Mr. Avery and Dr. Jones, hello.
Can I roll history or something to figure out what these flowers might be?
Yeah, give me a history or a cult roll.
History or cult?
Could I join her in that role? I would love to use biology to understand it from a biological perspective.
Of course, yeah.
Failure.
Go ahead and roll biology.
Son of a Jesus.
Yeah, this scene is so disturbing that you have a hard time making heads or tails of it, especially because as he kind of marks your presence, Rupert starts talking and he says, I had to get out. It was going to burn me up inside. It's going to take me back with them. It is then that Dr. Jones and Avery enter the same clearing. All of 4 of you make sanity checks.
Okay.
Oh boy. Mine is going to be -10 from this, by the way. Okay, I guess I still succeed.
Yeah. So for me, this is like it's I'm gonna be kind of evil and do like the opposite. So, Dr. Jones, Avery, you just see a very sick man. You're not really concerned with everything else that's happening, but Jesse, Keiko, like it's beginning to make sense to you. The light, it's going to go, and you can go with it.
Where's the light going?
It's taking us back with it. Don't you see? It's changing things. Everything it touches, it changes. And as he like lifts up off of the ground, you notice like that his skin kind of stays on the dirt below him. And he's almost like peeling himself up off the ground. As his skin peels away, you see a strange, almost chitinous sort of growth has kind of began to form underneath him, causing his skin to slough off. His limbs seem longer than they did before. And there's almost like an iridescent sheen to this like strange new exoskeleton that is forming beneath his flesh.
Real quick, as I'm looking at his arms, I'd like to make an investigation to see if there's any sort of signet, ring, jewelry, anything that might be causing anything from an external perspective.
Yeah, give me a spot hidden. You notice tossed off on the side in his bag is there's something like glinting that you can see in a messenger bag that's like just barely visible. You also notice that like his clothing is that of a normal man's, almost as though you would realize that maybe the gentleman who left before had arranged to leave a change of clothes for him, and that helped cover his escape from the hospital. You notice that too with a hard success, that the clothing he's wearing is no longer the hospital gown that he was wearing before. He had a go bag. You notice this bag now slung to the side, kind of like with a callousness. The bag itself has these like kind of growths beginning to like suck it into the earth itself. And you do notice the ground here is like soft and mossy. It feels like stepping into a warm mouth.
I'm going to take out my pen knife, my silver one, and open the knife, the switchblade of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna like just slowly make my way over to the bag, and I'm gonna see if I can try to grab the signet or whatever I ended up seeing.
Yeah. Give me a stealth check. Does anybody else want to do anything here?
I think I would just be standing there yelling. At this point, I'm too probably afraid to go in the circle. So I'm just gonna talk, but if someone else does something well, that happens.
I think Jones wants to convince everyone else to leave.
Yeah, go for it.
Everyone, I don't think this is safe here. I think we should just go.
Well, that's all our common compatriot in the middle of this weird field. Rupert, we told you not to leave. Why did you come?
Everything the light touches, it makes pure, it makes whole. And he like peels more of his body off the ground, leaving his flesh behind, showing off this like new strange carapace that has formed under him. It makes it perfect.
Wentworth,
everything that it touches.
Wentworth, we should leave.
Already touched me?
Yes, you hear him say.
Miss Williams, are you feeling well?
Is it God?
Which one? Rupert?
No, it's going to take us with it. Do you want to go? And he extends a hand to you, and you notice like his hand is kind of like hanging off loose, and instead it's almost like a weird pincer or strange scythe-like thing it extends out to you.
I don't think so this time, old chap. I start to back away. Dr. Jones, I think you may be correct. Keiko, Jesse, I think we should retreat a little bit here.
You've managed to make your way to the bag, and as you reach your hand in secretly, your hands fall upon an amulet. You would recognize it to be an elder sign.
Yes, there is a light. Oh, there is and I like kind of like hold it like kind of like behind my head, but like so like just the chaps can see it. There is a light. I feel it's going to take us away. And I'm gonna try to toss it to Wentworth.
Okay.
Why me?
Yeah.
Not an athletic one.
Okay, fine, to Jones, to Dr. Jones.
Yeah, this week.
Jones, make a sleight of hand check to see if you catch it.
Oh God, it's not good.
Mine's got to be worse.
You miss. You're not expecting it. You see this horrific sight in front of you. You are distracted as any person would be. And all of a sudden, Keiko chucks this amulet at you. The amulet sails out or like over your head into the bed of flowers behind you.
I'm going to run after it and try to get it.
Give me a strength check as you kind of like reach into the flower bed to grab it. Yeah, you feel like all of a sudden almost like reacting to your touch as your hand touches the amulet. All of the flowers around you just immediately try to wrap around your forearm, but you are able to pull yourself free, sending this like strange, thin, mucusy substance everywhere. And for a moment, you see it too, a strange color formed out of the mist of the particles suspended in the air.
I think we should stay for a bit longer.
What? You just said we should leave. This is clearly dangerous.
No.
Oh, I see the light. I understand. I can see it now. It's all so clear, the spectrum and everything. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to try to cut his hand.
Yeah, go ahead and roll to hit.
With the silver pen knife, is that okay?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh!
Yeah. As you try to cut his hand that is being extended out to Jesse, your knife just like clacks against this like thick chitinous substance that this like strange sort of arm pincer scythe-like thing is made out of, and it has no effect. As his like face, which is now like beginning to half melt off, looks up at you. Give me a sanity roll.
Yes, happily. Yes, let's do this.
Yeah, you lose 2 more sanity as his eyes look into yours. You see a beautiful scintillating light begin to like kind of drift out of his eyes towards your face and like almost land on you like a warm hug. And he says, "The light, if we go with it, it'll make us like it pure."
It's so pure. I can see it. I understand everything that you're talking about. It's a brilliant.
And she's just going off in all of this scientific speak and stuff like that.
Mhm. Sure enough, you begin to see, at this point, everyone begins to see like a beautiful pulsing lime green fuchsia light begin to emit from the center of the circle. As it does, the forest around it begins to twist and change to look more like the foliage in this circle. And sure enough, you see the light come flooding out of Rupert's mouth, his eyes, as the remainder of his flesh begins to just peel off and disintegrate, and with the sheer heat of it. You feel the heat on your face like there is a bonfire burning. What do you do? Keiko and Jesse, you are inside this like sort of this sort of like oppressive heat. It feels like you're in an inferno.
Is there any other, like, I'm realizing that the pen knife, the switchblade is a little small for this task. Is there anything around that could be a little bit more useful of a weapon?
Let's see, go ahead and give me a
Spot hidden?
survival roll. Yeah, a spot hidden roll.
If I can find my tabs again.
Or an intelligence check.
Jesse takes his hand.
Yeah.
Lost my tabs. Wait, there we go. Found it. Spot hidden, you said, right? Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you are able to see like almost like a beacon of light shining at you, the elder sign amulet glimmering outside of this like wall of light that's like shifting and moving. For you, it feels like time has almost slowed down. You see in slow motion as Jesse's hand kind of reaches out and touches Rupert's. It seems to take like minutes for you.
Could I reach for the amulet? Is it closer to me?
You would have to like move towards it.
I'm going to move towards it.
Give me a strength check.
Strength's not one of my abilities. Well, we might not. Yeah, okay. Strength is not one of my abilities.
Yeah, you on the other side, Dr. Jones, see Keiko's face. She seems to be moving at like lightning speed for you, kind of like trying to reach through this like strange color barrier that has formed between the two of you. It almost looks like shifting glass, like the fabric of reality itself is like beginning to crack and shift.
I want to try and jump into the circle.
Go ahead and give me a strength check. Yeah. You are able to jump in, and Avebury, would you like to do anything here?
Who am I next closest to? If Dr. Jones already
Dr. Jones, yeah,
and he has already jumped in. At this point.
You see Jesse in front of you through this like this strange scintillating wall of color, holding on to Rupert's hand.
I'm gonna reach for like the back of Jesse's collar to try to pull her out of the circle.
Yeah, give me a strength check.
Oh, it's for success I've had in a while.
Yeah, your hand is able to kind of like reach through the barrier and touch Jesse's shoulder. As it does, the green growth from your hand explodes, reaching almost like transforming the part of your hand that is through this light barrier into like a strange vine-like creature similar to the trees around you.
Ooh.
Roll me a sanity check.
I did. I was like, yes.
You take 10 points of sanity damage and are just stricken with this disgust and fear and this desire to be pure, to not have this thing on you anymore. There's a part of you that just wants to scrape it off with your bare hands, just scrape off this moss and scrape off this vine. And suddenly all of your concern for Jessie melts away. And in the same moment, Dr. Jones, you are able to reach Keiko. And as you like touch her with the elder sign in your hand, it's almost like the two of you are enveloped in like this special, like sort of insulated pocket where time seems to move normally. You see everything around you happening in normal speed now rather than slow motion. And then all at once it happens. The light disappears, leaving nothing but ash in its wake. The grass, the moss is all gone. In fact, you see the ash kind of begin to like move through the wind. The trees look burnt. They begin to like kind of crack and fall, charred, and showing no more sort of sign of their previously viney, twisted, tentacle-like nature. And you also see that Jessie is gone. Jessie, you feel yourself pulled up almost like by the pit of your stomach into the sky at dizzying speed. And when your eyes open, you find yourself in front of an obelisk. The obelisk, the surface of it seems to be almost metallic, but moving. You can see faces and eyes in it, and it reaches up to the zenith of the cosmos. You see the stars swimming around you. You see the earth, nothing but a small marble, eons away. And around you, you see a beautiful verdant forest. You see the vines you saw down below, the flowers you saw down below, and you see these strange creatures, multi-eyed, multi-limbed, walking on all fours around you. And you feel yourself turn. You feel yourself begin to change shape. And as you ask this question, as if they're angels, your mind, your eyes, your soul is filled with this strange color from out of space. And that'll be where we end the story for today.
Wait, what happened to my arm? What happened to me? I'm just laying there with like one arm on the ground.
Yeah. In our epilogue, you all never see Jessie again. We will ask Jessie what their fate may have been, although they themselves may not know. Avebury, over the next few days, your hand, although it appears to be normal, begins to the tissue begins to necrotize and rot away, almost as though the doctors are perplexed. They ask you if you have frostbite, if you've been wandering through the wilderness. What do you do after you survive this ordeal?
I think Wentworth, knowing that Rupert is gone, he becomes and just sort of feels very, very sad for his friends. So I think he becomes better friends with like the family that's left behind and tries to get Bertrand to turn a new leaf, all the while sort of like trying to research more about that hospital and figure out what was going on there and the connection between that and what happened. And also I've got a weird no left hand now, so that's happening. Ladies love it though. It's a good war story.
Dr. Jones, you are still clutching the smoking elder sign amulet, as well as kind of like putting your arms around Keiko when the light disappears. What do you go on to do?
I think I spend the next years of my life trying to figure out what happened to Jessie and what happened to everyone that day. And I think I leave the university I was teaching at to go on to try and figure out what's happened.
Keiko, what do you do?
Well, a couple of things. I think Keiko is going to write a letter to her brother Hugo to say she can no longer return to San Francisco and that she's going to continue her studies here in Arkham, and she's going to start working for the hospital, continue her science exploration there so that she can figure out perhaps what was growing in the basement,
and kind of piece together what Dr. Jones is doing. But ever so often, she can be found in the chapel of the hospital holding onto a rosary praying for Jesse.
Jesse.
I think Jesse becomes a multitude of eyes in a chorus of voices no one on earth could ever understand.
I love it. You guys are all so wonderful. Y'all are so fabulous. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me for this very special Roll20Con one shot. Go and follow all of these wonderful people. Let's get some shout outs going. I'm going to start with you, Banana Chan.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me in this game. You can find me on Twitter at BananaChanGames and on TikTok at banana.chan.games. And I have 2 Kickstarters up right now, so please check those out. The first one is An Exquisite Crime by myself and Senfon Lim, and the second one is Suburban Consumption of the Monstrous, which is a collection of horror LARPs by Sadia Bizanai.
Amazing. Cynthia?
Oh, awesome. So you can find me on Twitter at Cindancer or Cynthia__Marie on Instagram. I'm coming up in a couple of things. If you enjoyed Call of Cthulhu, I am playing on the Calyx. The next Wednesday's coming up with Becca Scott. We are doing Call of Cthulhu 1940 in Puerto Rico. So it's a homebrew created by Eliza Pearl, and I'm playing with Alicia Marie as well as Becca Scott. So we just did our first episode last week. We got 3 more. It is such an amazing world to be in. So come check us out on the Calyx on Wednesdays. I'm also in a D&D campaign. It's a kind of a brand new one that should be starting up soon called Gods of Color, which go check out Kira857 or 858 on Twitch, and you can find all these wonderful D&D games. Otherwise, I'm all over the place popping up doing different things, so just check out the socials to see where I'm coming up next.
Fantastic. Michelle?
You can find me everywhere at I am Chubby Bunny. It's right down there. My handle on Twitter and Instagram. I'm right now in a mini series over on Good Time Society called Claw and Order, and it's D&D, but we're all detectives and we're real bad at everything. I play Cat who swears a lot. It's great. What else is going on with my life? I was just in a couple episodes of Critical Role for their mini series with Elder Scrolls, which is super fun. And I don't know. I'm just like on it doing stuff, chilling. Just got some more shows coming up, but you'll find me on Twitter.
Persephone, you killed it today, by the way. Oh my God, what a magical freaking lady.
Thank you. This was a very different character for me from what I played before. Religious, good girl type of deal. Hi, I'm Persephone, aka Persephiroth. You can find me at Persephiroth on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I do a lot of video game streaming. I also am the DM of Fast Times at D&D High. If you haven't seen it, I was on Dimension 20's last season, the 7. And give me a follow on Twitter if you want to keep up with all the things that I'm doing. I do a lot of stuff, and I can't remember any of it right now.
And I have been your keeper, Jasmine, ThatBronzeGirl Bhullar. You can find me everywhere at ThatBronzeGirl. I have a new show out called Battle for Beyond, and I also host a weekly D&D show on my channel called Shikar. It has a lot of callbacks to me growing up in Punjab. So if you're into that, come check it out. And I'm also hosting a thing. There's a lot of stuff I'm doing right now. Same thing. If you find me on Twitter at ThatBronzeGirl, hopefully I've kept track of some of it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please do not forget to check out the charity we're supporting today, Code 2040. They're a charity that is dedicated to ending racial disparity in the tech industry. You can donate, and Roll20 is actually going to be matching all the community donations up to $50,000 all weekend. So that's basically like doubling your donation. Every dollar counts, and for every dollar you give, Roll20 is going to give $1 as well. And don't forget to come back tomorrow for a first look at the Power Rangers RPG with Dustin Fletcher and Carlos Luna at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, y'all. Stay safe and stay classy.
Don't touch any.